Hello, everybody. It is Monday, October 29th. This is your history lesson for today. We're going to go through a little bit of explanation and then you'll have an activity to complete at the end in order to get credit for today's work. So make sure you listen to this whole recording and complete the assignment at the end. On Friday, I introduced to you our project that we're going to be doing in history class. When we do projects and we're doing research that requires you to write something about a topic, we always need to talk about plagiarism. So this lesson today is going to be a little bit about plagiarism, what it is, and how you avoid it. So if you've never heard of plagiarism before, we're going to talk about what it is and why it matters. So look at this definition. Plagiarism is the presenting of words, ideas, images, sounds, or the creative expression of others as your own. Pretty much that means, well, let's look at this. The word plagiarism comes from the Latin plagiarius, meaning kidnapper. So it's like stealing. Plagiarism is when you steal somebody else's work and you use it as your own. And that could be something that is written, like a sentence or a paragraph. It could be a picture or photograph or drawing, a piece of artwork. It could be a music composition. It can be lots of different things. So it's basically when you steal somebody else's work and call it your own. So how serious is this problem? Check this out. A study of 4,500 students at 25 different schools was done. 72% of them admitted to serious cheating on written assignments using the internet. Oh my goodness, that's awful. And I'll bet that pretty much what they did was copy and paste. If you have included the words and ideas of others in your work that you neglected to cite, and cite means to give credit to the person that you're copying it from, you have probably plagiarized. If you have copy and pasted from the website into a test or project, you have probably plagiarized, and that is not good. Okay, let's look at what plagiarism is. There is two kinds of plagiarism. One is intentional. That's when you copy somebody else's homework, maybe a friend, or maybe you borrow or buy a paper from somebody who already did the work. Or maybe you just cut and paste little pieces of text from electronic sources like Google without documenting where you got it from. Or maybe media. You borrowed pictures, words, graphics, songs, poems, anything without documenting where you got it from. If you've done that, that's plagiarism. That's intentional plagiarism. That means you did it on purpose. But there's also unintentional plagiarism when you think you're doing it right, but you're plagiarizing by accident. And that is when you use careless paraphrasing, or you don't document it correctly, or you don't just use your own voice to tell what you know. Oh, here's some excuses for plagiarism. It's boring. It's okay if I don't get caught. Who's going to know? I was just too busy to do it. I have so much going on in my life. I don't have time for this project. Oh, my teachers are so hard. They expect so much work out of me. I don't want to. Ah, I got to get to a certain college, so I got other things I need to worry about. That one doesn't apply to us. Everyone does it. So if everybody's plagiarizing, I'm going to do it too. Oh, but my parents put so much stress on me. They want me to get A's, so I have to copy or I'm never going to get an A. All these excuses, wrong. Plagiarism is a serious offense and can lead to failing grades or suspension from school. Look at this. Excuse me. The consequences are not worth the risk. It is only right to give credit to other people who did this work, whose ideas you are stealing. So it's not fair to them if you're stealing their work, right? Citing, that's when we tell where we got our information from, makes it possible for your readers to locate your source, and then you know you're not going to get in trouble. Oh, cheating is unethical behavior, and it ruins your reputation with your teacher and your school. So check this out. There was plagiarism found at the University of Virginia, UVA, that's a college. 45 students were dismissed. That means they were kicked out of school for plagiarizing. 3 students who got degrees had them taken away when it was found out that they plagiarized. So that's pretty serious stuff. And do you see in this here, it is actually showing where this information was found. This is called a citing. I am telling you where I found this information. So, consequences. Another one was a guy who worked for the New York Times, Jason Blair, was forced to quit his job when they found out that he plagiarized and lied in one of his articles. The newspaper said at least 36 of 73 articles that he had written had problems with accuracy, calling the deception a low point in the newspaper's history. That guy lost his job because he didn't do it right. What are the school consequences if you copy somebody's work or plagiarize? Well, first of all, you get a 0 on the whole assignment. And in our case, in our history project, that's 50 points of your grade. You'll fail the class, maybe. You're going to receive a lower grade for sure. We're going to have to call your parents, tell the principal, and it's possible you could be suspended from other activities outside of school as a result. It's not worth it. Okay, so how do I keep myself from plagiarizing? Here's some rules. Don't copy and paste anything. I know it's so tempting when you're on the internet, but don't do it. Read your information and then put it into your own words. Or better yet, read information from a lot of different places and then come up with your own idea. Or if you want to copy a short piece of information from a source, make sure you tell where you found it. You're going to create a works cited page that tells where you got your information. Make sure you put quotation marks around anything you copy and tell where you copied it from. And I'm going to go over the details of that again in class when we work on our assignment. Okay, so here's a little activity. We are pretty much all of us familiar with green eggs and ham. I want you to look at the 2 examples and decide which one is plagiarizing. Okay, so if you look at letter A, it says, he tells Sam I am, I do not like them, Sam I am, I do not like green eggs and ham. B, he tells Sam I am that he prefers not to eat the eggs that are with the green eggs and ham. Which one is plagiarizing? Well, A is plagiarizing because he basically copied the whole entire text. Okay, so that's just an example. Do I have to cite everything? Well, for the purposes of our project, you're going to just make a list of sources that you use for your research. Okay, but the real answer is yes. Anytime you borrow somebody else's ideas, you do need to cite them, and that means you tell where you found the information. Except when you use your own words, you don't have to cite them. And when the information that you're telling is common knowledge, for example, if you're talking about math and you say 2 plus 2 is 4, well, everybody knows 2 plus 2 is 4. So there's nothing to cite there. It's just something everybody knows. Okay. So how do I know if it's common knowledge? It means I can find the same information, at least 3 different sources. I don't have to cite it. So what's the big deal? If I change a few words, I'm still okay, right? Wrong. Paraphrasing original ideas without documenting your source is also plagiarism. Oh my goodness, this is horrible. It's so hard. You need to use your own ideas. So use these three strategies. Quote anything you copy, paraphrase, or use your own words, or summarize. When you read an article about your topic, instead of copying it, finish reading it, and then tell it back in your own words in a summary format. That is how you can avoid plagiarizing. If you do copy something, you're quoting it. Quotations are the exact words of an author copied directly from a source, word for word. Quotations must be cited. Paraphrasing is not simply rearranging or changing one or two words in an original passage. You have to understand what the author is saying and write the ideas entirely in your own words. That is, like I said, summarizing. Right. If you do paraphrase, you give the author credit. You say something like, according to Jim Carty, the cats are ranked fourth in backcourt, blah, 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 blah. See how there's quotation marks around it? And they use the author's name in the sentence. That is paraphrasing, but we're still giving credit. Don't cut and paste from any source. Never, ever, never, ever. In a test, in a paper, in a project, never. You will automatically get a 0. Do not ever use somebody else's work as your own. If you have a brother or sister who had this class last year, you cannot use their same work. You will be caught. Don't just change a few words from a source, because you're still not coming up with your own ideas when you only change a few words. And please don't turn in a project you did from another class. I don't think that's going to be an issue for us, but just in case. Okay, a plagiarist is too careless, too lazy, too dishonest to do a good job. That's not us. We're not careless, lazy, or dishonest, or at least we don't want people to think we are. Okay, so all you need to do is this. Do your research, take notes, put your information into your own words. If you do copy, put quotation marks around and then footnote or cite whose words they are. Write down every resource you use when you're looking for your information on your topic. And at the end of your work, you're going to list those sources on a works cited page. So your teacher will know exactly where you found your information. I'm going to go over this in class again with you when we work on the project. All right, if you have any questions, you're going to ask me in class, or you may email me and I will answer those questions. Now, you have an activity. You have a Google form to get credit for today's assignment. This link to the form is in your class announcements for today. So you're going to need to go into your online school and find that link, complete the Google form, and you will get credit for today. This is part of your grade, so please do that. The rest of this hour, you may work on your history project. At this point, you should be researching your innovator and taking notes. Next week, we will begin creating our presentation, so don't get too far ahead. Just do your research, take notes, and make sure you keep track of where you're finding your information. Okay? If you have any questions, send me an email. That's it for today. Submit your Google form and you are done. Have a great day.